My name's Ken Fisher, and today I'm going to show you how to change the colour of something in Photoshop by using the Hue and Saturation adjustment layer. Okay, so here's an image. It's of a very nice car that I took on holiday. Not that I took this car on holiday, but I mean I took the picture of the car when I was on holiday. I think you get me drift. Obviously the owner of this car had limited parking skills, or knew someone quite up in the police force, I'm not sure which. But anyway, I digress. Let's make a start. First, let's add a Hue and Saturation adjustment layer. So we'll go down to the bottom of the layers panel, click, and we'll select Hue and Saturation. So here we can see the layer, and here is the Properties panel. Now in this panel we've got three sliders: the Hue, the Saturation, and the Lightness. Now the one we're going to deal with is the Hue, because this controls the colour. So if I'll just move it out the way a little bit. If I move the Hue slider, you'll see that all the colours change in the image. And you'll see down here these two colour bars at the bottom. Well, one is the colours as they are now. One is the colours that we're going to change to. So what this is telling us is that anything that was blue is now going to be like a goldy colour. And it is, because the car's gone gold. But also everything else gets changed as well. So everything that's red becomes like a green, and everything that's green becomes red. So everything gets changed round. Well, we only want the car to change colour, so we need a little bit cleverer way of doing it. So I'll just set that back to 0. Now if you look up here, we've got this master, and what this means is that every time we move a slider at the moment, we're doing it to the whole image, which we've seen. But I'd like to target a specific colour range. So what I'm going to do, if I drop down this little box here, we can see we've got some colours: reds, yellows, greens, cyans, blues and magentas. Well, I'm going to pick the blues, and this hopefully will help us select the car. Now down here now on the colour bars, you can see that we've got this little doohickey, and it's got two vertical bars and a couple of little dots. Now what it means is that everything in between these vertical bars, the colours will be fully selected. Anything outside on either side is getting slightly less and less selected as it gets further away. Now we can move this about as a whole, or we can move these bars and stretch them wider or bring it closer together, and we can drag this to change the drop-off area as well. Okay, so now we've got a definition of roughly what blue is. Let's change it. So we now rotate it so we can go through greens right through purple. And if we finish up at this end, let's leave it there, because we've got like a goldy colour, but there is quite a lot of green. Now what this means is that that isn't in the current selection, so obviously it isn't selected by this area. Now we could move these little things about and try and select it, but there is a quicker way, and this is to use these colour pickers. So I'm going to click the plus, and I'm going to move into a green area that hasn't been selected. I'm going to click. You'll see immediately that does a pretty good job of filling in all the green that was there. I think there's a little bit there. I'll just give it a click. Be a bit there. That's pretty good. So we've now got a pretty good selection. So now if I move this, the hue slider, then it will change the colour of the car. Yeah, I'm liking that. But you will notice that there's certain other things that have got this colour in it. So here on the windshield we've got like a goldy colour, a bronzy colour. In the street over here, where there used to be blue tones, we've now converted them to goldy tones. So what can we do about that? Well, what we can do now, we can use the mask. On the layer here we've got a layer mask. So I'm going to make sure that black is my foreground colour, and I'm going to go over and select the brush tool. I'll get a little bit smaller brush than that, and what I'm going to do is paint out that from the mask. So here we are. I'm painting through that, and when I let go in a sec, you'll see, I'll do the roof as well. You'll see it appear on the mask. So now I'm just cutting through to the underlying layer, which wouldn't be this bronzy colour because it will be reflecting the sky. So we'll do the same for the lights. And then obviously there's the trim, because that wouldn't be brown either. So we'll just bring that trim in. And then obviously there's the little emblem there. I'll make this a little bit smaller and just click in there. Now there may be a little bit in the wheel, so I'll see if we can get rid of that. There's a little bit in this window, and I'll just move that out the way. And we see we've got quite a lot going off here, so let's just spend a minute and really mask all this out, all this brown area. We'll get as close to the car as I can. I'm just doing this quickly. Across the front here. So let's just look at the mask and see what kind of job we're doing. That's not bad. We need that. I'll bring the mask up like that so we can see where we've missed. Missed down there, we've missed a bit there. Up in that corner. Right, that looks pretty good. Okay, now what we should be able to do is just control the colour of the car. So I'll just move them out the way so we can go and bring back the properties panel. And now when we move that, we should just be controlling the colour of the car. Right, okay, we've got a bit of a halo going on just there, so let's fix that. So let's go back to the layer mask, painting with black with our paintbrush, and just paint out that little bit that we've got there. Obviously a bit we've missed. That looks better. So we'll go back to the adjustment again, to the properties panel, and now we can see that we can change the colour of the car. So let's leave it at, oh yeah, that looks pretty good. We'll leave it at that. So now we know how to change the colour of anything in an image using Photoshop, using a hue and saturation adjustment layer and a layer mask. Hope that was useful. I'll see you in the next video.